That's a thing? He did that? Why? Oh! No! Generic Control into that goes. We're back with another Game Theory FNAF video. Today we have FNAF just got a reboot, which was FNAF VR Help Wanted, which apparently is one of the scariest games. I don't know, I'd rather play that than FNAF 2 in my personal opinion, but I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope I make it a tiny little better. You can check my reaction to it last week's video, which was FNAF the Monster We Missed, which had a theory that was really far-fetched, and I'm pretty sure it was debunked really quickly, but basically it was just to bring attention to the fact that the books actually have bearing on the game. So you can check my reaction out, I'll leave it right up there. Also give a link down below in the description. Also going to be at a place on my channel with all the other Game Theory FNAF videos. The next one I think is probably the science, the science of FNAF, which I believe the dude's name, I think is his name Austin? Is his name Austin? I don't know. I think the dude that does that actually just announced that he is leaving Game Theory. So I'm not really sure if we're going to do that video or not. Let me know down in the comment section whether or not I should skip it or jump into the cult of FNAF, which not looking forward to that one, because that one looks creepy, because Glitch Trap freaks me out. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Like I said, I read every single comment. Patrons get the videos there. Link to my Pay 1 channel. I'll be live streaming today at 5 p.m. Probably going to be taking on the Elite Four on Pokemon White Nuzlocke. Might actually do that today. Depends on how quickly I can train up some of my Pokemon to get them to the right level so I can take it on with ease. Or maybe not with ease, but last week was rough. Really rough. But let's go ahead and jump into FNAF just got a reboot. Alright.
Ready to have your mind blown by FNAF yet again?
Sure.
Let's do a little trick, shall we? I'm in the process of currently downloading and installing brand new
Look at all those
copies
ads.
of each and every one of the FNAF games, so you all know that we're working with a blank slate here.
What does that matter?
The games that we're specifically interested in are FNAF World
Okay.
and Ultimate Custom Night.
Of course.
The free ones.
Wait,
Huzzah
they're
for
free
not having
games?
to buy these games for literally like the 4th time. Let me just open up both of these on the computer to show you that we are working with absolutely clean and fresh copies of both these games.
So why does it matter?
The first
something
time that we
change in
open
the
this,
code?
we should get that cutscene of the 2 yellow beady eyes telling us that something has happened out in the world. There it is. We're just gonna wait here a second while that dramatically plays. We hit start.
I still can't
And you can
believe
see
he lives
here,
in Raleigh.
literally
I
nothing
was
on
literally
screen,
just in
right?
Raleigh.
We have slots
I
1,
flew
2,
out
and
of
3,
Raleigh
all empty.
this week.
No trophies along the bottom. And that's the important point here, right? Each time you beat the game, you get a different trophy along the bottom based on what ending you got. So notice 0 trophies, 0 ending, 0 gameplay. Okay, so we're gonna X out of that as well. Fantastic. Hopping on over to Ultimate Custom Night, there is no high scores unlocked. We have no power-ups that have been given to us. Our office is the default office. Nothing, right?
Office.
No creepy cutscenes of Toy Chica in her skimpy school uniform. Nothing. We are clean to go.
No idea why that exists.
Now, let me set the scene for you, right? If you think back to the release of Ultimate Custom Night, we were all really excited to see who would be included in this mega list of who's who in the FNAF universe. This big final game to celebrate the ending of the series, burning things to the ground at the end of FNAF 6. Some of the inclusions were obvious, right? Like the 70+ versions of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica,
I thought it was
Foxy,
just Freddy. I was like, what?
Trap, Golden Freddy, and the Puppet, right? There's
That's
practically every
way
game.
too many
They're
puppets.
superimposed
One is
the
too
lore of
many.
The games, no big surprises there. But then, when the roster kept expanding, you got to some weird inclusions, right? You got yourself Music Man over here.
Why? With
El
symbols.
Chip, which is basically just a glorified reference to like one of his failed games before Five Nights at
Chipper and
Freddy's.
Sons.
Strange, sapient pile of garbage over here.
Trash
like,
and the
not people that
gang.
you would immediately think of as being included in the like must-have list of characters in this franchise. But of them all, there was one inclusion that felt the strangest of all to me.
Which
this
one?
one right here. Old Man Consequences from FNAF World. A character who, if you're not super familiar with that particular game,
I thought he was
is
the dude
your
with the lake.
punishment for going too deep into the code of the game.
Got too deep into
You
the
see,
code.
FNAF World is a video game that's aware that it's a game, right? And throughout the adventure, you repeatedly have to dive into these
like
glitches
Doki
to
Doki
unlock
Literature
new
Club
parts
all
of the
over
world.
again.
But you're repeatedly warned against going more than 3 layers deep into those glitches. Otherwise, you're going to be trapped there forever. And once you know it, that's exactly what happens.
So they made a game out of glitches?
You wind up at Old Man Consequences Lake, trapped. What makes it so weird to see him here, though, in Ultimate Custom Night, is that FNAF World is a game that Scott has largely disowned. He's embarrassed of it. And it's a game that's ultimately been dismissed by the fan base as non-canon, in part because of those reasons, but also in part because it seems more closely tied to the book lore than it is to the game lore. And yet, here he is. Old Man Consequences in Ultimate Custom
I like how
Night,
he's just a
alongside characters that are definitely
Wait, how does he
canonical
play in,
a
like,
game
as a character?
that is also canonical, right? It has the canonical ending of William Afton suffering eternal torment at the hands of Golden Freddy. It's almost like Scott Cawthon is telling us that Old Man Consequences is implicitly canonical. He's canonical by association. So, why do I bring all this up? Well, there's an Easter egg in Custom Night that you've probably seen back when you were playing that game, right? You set Old Man Consequences to a difficulty level of 1, and you start your night. You're gonna turn off the fan, and here we sit. There's no one here to attack us.
Why not?
Outside of Old Man Consequences, so hopefully he shows up.
Wait, does he actually?
And here's Dee Dee, who has, by proxy of doing this, ruined our opportunity to unlock this Easter egg, so we're going to restart. Please.
Wait, what Easter egg?
We're gonna try again. Reset the ventilation, thank you. Oh, there is. Boom.
Wait, he popped up on the screen?
So now, here we go.
Huh?
Right? We're falling, quote unquote, falling through the source code of the game. We wind up here.
Okay,
this is Old Man Consequences Lake, right? You may have seen this Easter egg during people's gameplays. But here we go. We go to Old Man Consequences over here, and he gives us his line. Come and sit with me a while. Leave the demon to his demons. Rest your soul. There's nothing else.
What?
We concluded in one of our past theories about Ultimate Custom Night.
Yeah, that he talked about Old Man
Consequences talking to the vengeful spirit that exists inside Golden Freddy, trying to tell him, hey dude, chill out. Move on with your afterlife. Just let William Afton suffer on his own.
No.
Because if you listen to the audio that's playing in the background of this scene, you can definitely hear him suffering.
Yelling Mike.
Well,
why is that so funny? Why did you hear him burn alive?
You know, Scott Cawthon shouting through a fan. Now, most people seeing this Easter egg would be like, well, now what do? There's nothing else. I guess I gotta restart the game. Alt F4. And already this would be a really cool, really elaborate Easter egg. However, for those of us who have played through and know FNAF World better than we probably should, we know that there is one final thing that you can do in this scene, right? You can move on over to the top of the lake,
and you can
drown yourself. Now, in that game, when you did this, it would actually reveal a secret ending that is completely hidden from that game's texture files. It shows a person standing alongside two smaller figures in front of this flashing TV screen. It's a parent and their two kids, or at least that's as much as I can make of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And sure enough, you can actually do the same thing here in Ultimate Custom Night, going into the lake and drowning yourself. Except here, it ultimately crashes the game. I'm going deep into the lake. Uh-oh, I'm trapped in the water. Oh no! It's like quicksand. It's not so much a lake as it is quicksand, but here we go. We're going down into the lake, deeper, 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 and it crashes the game, right?
Okay.
We're back to the home screen. No hidden ending or Easter egg there. But here's where things get crazy. Instead of me booting up Ultimate Custom Night again, we're gonna hop back over to that brand new, fresh, clean copy of FNAF World that I showed you earlier. Here we go, FNAF World. We have not played this game whatsoever, and we hit start.
And now he has a trophy.
Wouldn't you know it? Without playing a second of this game,
he gets a trophy.
Look what suddenly appeared on our
from playing the other game. It's like it knows
that you unlock in FNAF World by visiting Old Man Consequences Lake. In other words, these two games
are connected.
But more importantly, in the lore
of this
Old
Man Consequences are connected.
These two worlds are connected
via Old Man Consequences Lake.
But what does all this mean? That, my friends, is our episode for today.
What? Was that like a 10-minute long intro? I'm here for it. That was actually really cool. Interesting intro song. Hopefully it doesn't have any copyright issues. That's Spinning the Ink Machine, right? I know nothing about that game. Of course. Not me. Didn't know what Mario Party was until Alfred's video.
Welcome
Apparently
to
that was
Game
shocking.
Theory, the channel where it's always April considering the number of Easter egg hunts we go on. So that connection between FNAF World and Ultimate Custom Night was originally discovered by Reddit user Roxas Lucario, and it ultimately hinges on an info file that collects variable information from across the various games. For instance, the first time you start up FNAF World, you're presented with an opening cutscene.
Something went very wrong. That's why I'm here. I will put you back together.
Great. Awesome. Go to the info page after seeing that creepy opening cutscene, and suddenly the trigger first is activated, presumably telling the game that you've seen that scene once before, so for all subsequent playthroughs, you don't have to see it again. That's how these sorts of variables work. But what's weird, though, is that the trigger for this drowned ending and unlocking the trophy is titled Beat Game 4, which might just mean it's the 4th ending of FNAF World, fine, but why then would Scott use that exact same variable name in Ultimate Custom Night? It's not like there's multiple endings in that game, and it's not like Ultimate Custom Night is the 4th game in the franchise. Him using that exact same variable name suggests that the connection between the two
maybe
was
he did
very
it for
much intentional.
made it
and
easy.
that, my friend,
easier to remember.
The surface. Because this small but
just copy paste, maybe?
very important Easter egg starts laying the groundwork for where this series is ultimately headed moving forward. Where FNAF VR clearly left off, and where the new FNAF AR game, Special Delivery, releasing this October, is taking
Was the AR game good? I remember somebody said I should just skip all the AR games.
It's right around the corner. There's a trailer for it and everything. Because my torment is year-round.
Is that an augmented
Looks like we're gonna end up playing hide and seek with a bunch of animatronics, but more on that one in a minute. FNAF World was a game that was ignored by us theorists because, well, look at it.
You won't get tired of my voice, will you?
I'm not sure what gets over me.
That's awful.
But in all seriousness, for all the memes lol this franchise has, it's never been particularly meta. The lore, on the whole, was its own self-contained story within this fictional
universe. You can play
universe.
the games without the lore.
The only times things got truly meta was in FNAF World, which sure helped us to predict the appearance of Baby and Henry into the mainline games, but it was also the game where Scott Cawthon literally appears as the final boss, complaining about how sick he was of pumping out new games for an insatiable appetite for animatronic death. Scott, you're our mama bird, my friend. Puke that sweet, sweet lore down into my gullet. But you can see why most of us would take this as a joke, right? Scott isn't a character in the FNAF universe, so it has to be just another game for the lols. Except now, Scott is a character in the game.
Because
as of FNAF VR, it's revealed to us that Scott, since the beginning, has played a critical role in the lore of the FNAF universe.
We know that Fazbear Entertainment has developed something of a bad reputation over the last few decades. And while it's true that some stories associated with our name were loosely based on actual events, the majority of them were total fabrications from the mind of a complete lunatic.
That's him.
Pending.
And if that wasn't explicit enough, the secret tapes hidden throughout the game make it even clearer.
They lied to us. They lied to all of us. They told us that the whole point of this VR game was to undo the bad PR done by a rogue indie game developer who supposedly made up a bunch of crazy stories that tarnished the brand.
Don't have to tell me twice, that rogue indie developer is obviously Scott. That's just where it begins, because FNAF World was trying to tell us something else about where this franchise was headed. Video games crossing into the real world and vice versa. You see, FNAF World is a lot of things.
What was the last game that he actually made himself?
But its main plot revolves around the aftermath of FNAF 4. We're told when we first boot up the game that something has happened out there in the real world, and it's having an effect in here.
I wonder if it ties in with the movie at all.
The world of this particular game. From there, the rest of the game features a main quest that's completely hidden. You could go through this entire game and never come across the actual real plot of this thing. The only way that you would know about this is by accidentally lingering on the first dialogue boxes of the game, which in turn releases glitched 8-bit Fredbear. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who are we gonna call? Glitched 8-bit Fredbear.
He's used that same take.
Unlock separate missions to find clocks, and it's here that we find our first instance of video game to real life crossover. You see, each clock is a minigame that connects back to FNAF 3, and all the individual steps necessary to unlock the Happiest Day cutscene. That game's good and canonical ending. If you think way back to that game, it always bothered me that punching random blocks on a wall or double-clicking a random poster in your real-life security office was somehow allowing us to put the spirits of the dead children to rest. But FNAF World gave us an explanation even
the video game world leading into the real world are connected somehow?
The game world, or more accurately, the spirits that are trapped existing in that game's code, were able to push out and affect changes IRL through those clock minigames. That's how you get these kind of video gamey moments.
Maybe those games are like the afterlife, maybe?
Haunted setting. Now, why is any of this important? Why are we we talking about it now so many years after these games were first released? Well,
maybe it's not a video game.
Starting to
Afterlife.
matter now. It's exactly what we saw happen at the end of VR Help
Be
Wanted.
gone.
That game established sentient code that was looking to escape from its video game prison.
It was just junk. Circuit boards and things like that.
Was it?
Old. Somehow, though, there was usable code on some of it. It seemed to take hold by itself. Things started changing.
What I'm saying here is that in the official lore of the series, official
Burn
lore
it down.
that is apparently dating back further than we would have expected, computer code is somehow able to store the minds or spirits or whatever of these characters and eventually rebirth them out into the real world if the right steps are taken. See also Petscop. And in FNAF VR, we see an
apparently he's done a couple
happening.
Petscop videos.
William
People
Afton,
mention that in the comment
who was
section.
trapped in the circuit boards, was
I
released
read all your
into
comments.
the code of this new game, Help Wanted, where he then took the form of Glitch Trap until finally, through us playing the game and collecting the tapes and putting the pieces back together, was able to escape again. But this time, he was able to escape not just from circuit boards, but out into the real world.
Into a person.
All of this goes back to the story.
No idea how that
FNAF
works.
World was
Does he
trying
live
to
forever?
tell us
Do
years
other
ago.
people just
The
switching?
story that we all didn't take seriously because the final boss was literally an impervious rainbow.
Are you kidding me? Come on.
The boss is a rainbow.
What? What?
Drugs.
I'm only just realizing it now, but Help Wanted is actually a cute and really brilliant name. I mean, we all thought it was help in terms of like a want ad, right? Help as a video game tester, which is the core premise of the game, but
what
it's
is it
also
actually?
Help Wanted. Glitch Trap wanted. Heck, he needed our help in order to escape, so
And he
well done,
does.
Scott, good name. Just like Pizzeria Simulator riffs on the idea of simulator games, but really it's an empty box waiting as a trap to catch the final animatronics and burn them alive. Or how Sister
I like that
Location
one.
is all about a separate but related robotics business, but also about a key character's sister, maybe, question mark. Well done,
Question
Scott.
mark.
Well done. Slow clap.
Apparently that there was last week's video was pretty debunked.
Now, you might be
There's
thinking,
someone in the comment section whose last name's
malicious
Emily,
code,
though.
people
I knew there was gonna be at
trapped
least
in video
one.
Games? This sounds nothing like the original story that started off this whole franchise. And yeah, that's entirely the point. The old story of Five Nights at Freddy's was, at least in part, a complete lie.
They lied to us. They told us that the whole point of this VR game was to undo the bad PR done by a rogue indie game developer. But that's not true at all. Fazbear Entertainment hired the game developer. Those indie games were designed to conceal and make light of what happened. This isn't just an attempt to rebrand. It's an elaborate cover-up.
Let me rephrase what we just heard. Scott is one of the bad guys. Based on the lore of Help Wanted, he was hired on by Fazbear Entertainment to create the FNAF games, give us the spooky ghost stories that exist within them, and in turn distract us from the real truth. Distract us away from what Fazbear's goals really were. He was lying to us. If FNAF VR's tapes are to be believed, pretty much everything we know from the first 3, at least, but maybe even 4, 5, heck 6 games could all be thrown out as complete fabrications created by Scott Cawthon for the sole reason because he was paid off by Fazbear Entertainment. This thing, Glitch Trap, might not even be a recreation of someone named William Afton. Heck, William Afton might not even exist. Though, to be honest, he probably does since he's mentioned by name at the beginning of FNAF Sister Location, and FNAF VR seems to replicate his original crimes pretty darn closely. So I'm gonna assume that some of that is actually
kind of
the long story short here is that FNAF VR, in making Scott
made a book about FNAF
cover-up, is the franchise's way of rebooting the story for the next generation, telling us that with FNAF VR, we're starting an entirely new lore. In disowning Scott's story as lies, it's explicitly telling us that everything we've known up to this point is wrong. It's a distraction. Instead, the real story, the story that's going to be told to us via the next generation of Five Nights at Freddy's games, is carrying forward
that was like what, last year, right?
Ideas that were first introduced to us back in FNAF World, a story of video games, code, all coming to life and crossing over into the real world. And funny enough, if we look back to FNAF World, it was trying to tell us the truth about this theme the entire time. As 8-Bit Glitch Bear tells us in that game, don't be deceived by the one pulling the strings. It's why Scott is technically the final boss of the game, but the true ending, the clock ending that unlocks the key Easter eggs from FNAF 3, it has nothing to do with him at all. It's entirely disconnected from why Scott is there. Again, the indie developer known as Scott Cawthon within the FNAF lore is trying to distract us away from the truth of what we should be doing in these games. And if you think I'm reading too much into this, think again. Scott is trying to clue us back into the importance of FNAF world.
I have no idea.
As many of you know, Scott has his website, scottgames.com, where there's always some new teaser image and stuff hidden in the source.
That's worse.
And on there right now is a really cool teaser for the next FNAF game coming out in 2020. Clearly, by looking at it, it's a FNAF Stranger Things crossover, considering the 1980s era neon-themed
That's
mall
kind of cool.
Season 3 of that show. But what's a little less well-known, though, is Scott's second site, FNAFworld.com, which has been dormant for a really long time. Dormant, at least until a month ago. You see, it was updated to have a big old number 58 smack dab in the middle of it.
There's nothing on here.
Brighten things up because
you have
always
to
brighten things up when you're given something by Scott Cawthon. You see a bunch of funny reviews for whatever this new game is going to end up being.
I'm gonna screenshot this and turn up the brightness.
Might seem like it's completely random, right? A weird, mysterious number, but it's actually not. It all goes back to, you guessed it, FNAF World. In that game, there's a playable demo for the latest unreleased FNAF game, Freddy in Space. That game's number, installment number 57. Meaning that Scott's next project, or at least one of his next projects coming out in a few months, is going to be another.
Wait, the one with the 2020 game, is that
potentially hidden inside of it.
Security breach?
If FNAF 57 Freddy in Space is to be believed, as you play through it in FNAF World, the next installment is going to be titled Poopits in Space, which sounds completely dumb, but you saw those hidden reviews.
Turn up the brightness and nothing.
Super positive about whatever FNAF 58 is shaping up to be. And heck, you don't even have to take it from me. It is coming straight from Scott's own disembodied head floating in a jar from that game. Like I said, FNAF World is weird, and we are still not done.
That's a thing? He did that? Why?
Digital horrors crossing over into the real world is becoming more explicit in his other new game.
Like how he just makes him
the
canon.
one that we know is releasing this October. FNAF Special Delivery, an augmented reality title that, based on the trailer and the title, will have animatronics being dropped off into your house. Sure, the idea of using your phone to see the animatronics roaming around your home might just seem like a fun, quirky new way to play these sorts of games, but from a lore standpoint, you wouldn't be surprised if what this is actually doing is forwarding the core themes of the new direction for the story of these games. Deadly characters starting off as harmless pieces of code and then escaping out into the real world through your device. It's happened with Glitch Trap.
What is the movie gonna be like?
Reality, it's literally happening again in this game. Any way you slice it, the lines between reality and fiction are
I feel like this could have a play on the movie.
Scott and FNAF World of all things that are serving as the bridge linking those two worlds. It all started coming to a head with FNAF VR, but starting this October, don't be surprised
I want to have
this
enough space to play VR games.
It really starts to change. But hey,
how in the world does the AR stuff work though? How does it know like that there's a closet there, you know?
Theory. Thanks for watching.
Like, how does it map
put up
house?
the subscribe button so you can click it and join the army of 12 million other loyal theorists out
I'm trying to hit 100,000
like
by the end of the year.
Because
that's my goal for this year. I'm gonna get all the help I can get. I really do. If you're not already subscribed.
5, 4, 3, 2, and heck, if you're itching to see more reality-bending storytelling like in FNAF World, well then check out our ongoing analysis of Petscop, the online horror video game web series. The finale of this mystery just aired.
And yes, once I'm done with the FNAF videos, I'm gonna do other game 3 videos.
You can be all caught
Minecraft,
up for when those
Petscop.
final episodes air. Oh, I forgot to say one, didn't I? Look, you did it! Congratulations! Now my work is complete. I fade away into the darkness for yet another week. I'll see you next time for Kindergarten.
Oh no. What? What do you mean for kindergarten? Is that a video game? Is there a video game name called Kindergarten? I have no idea. But, like I said, I'll be live stream day at 5 p.m. Should be probably taking on the Elite Four in my Pokemon White Nuzlocke. First I'm playing through Gen 5. It's going to be interesting. So, let's talking about those two games for the most part. Two games that we were just like, yeah, these are joke, but that's kind of crazy that, like, they're tied together and, like, if you jump from one game and go to the cutscene and you load the next game, you get the trophy. So, do you only get the trophy if you drown yourself in the lake? What happens if you visit and then you load the next game? Is the trophy still there? Or is it only when you drown yourself in the lake? I feel like that's like maybe the lake is the bridge between the two of them. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea because this is a pretty crazy theory. Like I said, let me know if you want me to do the FNAF AR science video. I'm not really sure. Can your phone stop a killer animatronic? Probably not, but I have a lot of bullets in the guns loaded. Yeah, 20 in the pistol, 30 in the AR. And they're both right there. The AR is my door gun. The Ruger's my desk gun. My Walther is my nightstand gun. But, oh, man. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect going forward with this. People say we're, like, towards the end, and we're not really. We have a long way to go. Oh, well, we're going to be doing this for a while. Probably, if I had to guess, I would say I'm going to be doing this until June? I want to say I'm going to be dropping FNAF Game Theory videos until June if I'm going out a week, depending on how many of these I actually skip or not. I'm not really sure, but we have a ways to go, so I hope you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos. Patrons get the videos there early, and Lamb Pay One channel goes so far in supporting the channel. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, but until the next video, take care, and cue the music.